What's the conclusion that you draw on the pricing that Tesla released?
Well, I got a chance to drive the Beast, and that was the vehicle that they gave me to fool around with. It definitely, well, it's wicked fast. It's unbelievably comfortable. I would put it in with other $100,000 vehicles. Now, I don't know the other two products at all because I didn't really get a chance to test those. But the one that I had, the Cybertruck Beast, definitely is quick. That'll scare the daylights out of most people. And if you've got it, there's a video of the Cybertruck and a Porsche 911 taking off from the line and doing a quarter mile. And the
Right.
Tesla wins, but it's towing another 911. It beat the 911 towing a 911. It's fast. It's extremely fast. It's very, very.
Hey, Sandy.
Yeah.
Sandy, I called you at the top of the show the Teardown Titan. I just want to explain to our audience, you're principally an automotive engineer, right? And
Right.
you kind of rose to prominence because you take new vehicles, tear them apart right down to the individual nuts and bolts, and assess what they're made of, assess their efficiency. You have been in the factory, and I wanted to ask you, based on the design of this vehicle and what you saw down in Austin Giga, how many do you think they're going to be able to build initially this year or the remainder of this year, next year?
That's kind of a tough question because there's a lot that determines whether or not you're going to be able to push out those products. A lot of it has to do with the supply chain, and there's a lot of things that kind of push you in different directions as far as launch is concerned. What I saw was running at 60 jumps per hour, and that's kind of normal. The rest of the factories that I've seen, the rest of the Tesla factories are running at 42, 43 seconds per cycle or per station. That's fast. That's really fast. So if they could keep that momentum up, in 12 months, they should be able to do easily 250. It depends on how many, how many shifts you've got and whatnot, but they should easily be able to do 250,000 a year at that rate, 250 to 500,000, depending on how many shifts.
Yeah, and certainly Musk saying that 250,000 units possible by 2025. I'm interested, Stanley, in ultimately, how does this disrupt the pickup truck market at large? You keep on showing the sort of F-150, in particular, the EV competitor there, and how the price point is a lot cheaper there, even though Elon Musk himself said, look, it looked expensive at the time. How do you think it compares to the rest of the market?
Well, everybody's been trying to say that they're all pickup trucks, but really and truly, there's a distinct user difference between the Rivian, the Lightning, the Cybertruck, and say something like the Hummer. They're not really tuned to attack the same market. They all can do pickup truck kind of work, but I think that the average person who's got a construction company is probably going to be going for a Lightning. The guy who wants to go to the grocery store and every once in a while pick up a 2x4, that's probably the Rivian kind of story. The Hummer, I don't know who that is. But I can tell you, for me, I'm going to be brutally frank here. I'm trying to get a hold of two of them, and one is going to be my drive. Because for me, if you're an outdoorsman, you got quads, you got hunting on your mind, hunting or fishing or whatever. This is the truck for you. This is what I'm truly looking for. I have a Lightning at the office. My wife owns a Rivian. Like I say, I don't know an awful lot about GM. Has never offered me one of their Hummers for driving. But for me, what I want is I want a Cybertruck.
Okay,
and
you
I'm
want
willing
it,
to pay the
Sandy.
$100,000.
What is any criticism then? What is it that might be a slight worry when you go and take that pickup?
Yeah, I drove it for a few hours, and the only time that I had a problem with the thing was when I had to try and, where the heck am I?
We can still hear you. Don't worry. Leave it.
Yeah, you're good, Sandy. Keep going.
Yeah. So, anyways, the only thing that I had that was an issue was when I was going up and I took it into a parking garage, and that scared the living lights out of me because it's a very big vehicle, and it was very difficult for me to determine where the corners of the car are, and I really didn't want to smash. I didn't want to smash Tesla's car. So I made the suggestion to the guys, and I said, hey, you know what? Really and truly, I can't see out of the I can't see where the corners are. How about you put up utilize the cameras at the front of the vehicle and make it so I can see where the corners are with relationship to the walls of the what do you call it, parking garage that I was going up.
Right.
And I said, oh, no problem. Just a software thing. Well, we can probably make that as a running change. That was the only
Sandy,
thing that yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Sandy. I want to make sure we get to this. I guess you haven't had a chance yet to do a teardown of the Cybertruck for obvious reasons.
No.
I guess, will you do a teardown? But also, I think the materials here are so important. This is your expertise, right? The reinforced steel, the 48-volt architecture, the wire driving, all of these things. What's your assessment of that design and material?
Drive-by-wire is long. I'm going to do that one first because that is the thing that is the biggest differentiator. Drive-by-wire, I wouldn't really want to do that unless it was 48-volt system. Going from 12 to 48 volts is huge. I mean, a gigantic advantage. The system that they've got is double and triple redundancy. So all those naysayers in Washington, the NISTA folks, even they had to kind of like nod their head and say, okay. The fact that you've got both front steering and rear steering, you get 10 degrees of rear steering, means that you can spin this thing around like a top. It's really, really, really easy to drive, especially in parking lot or tight corner type of applications. It's spectacular in that respect. The maneuverability is wonderful. The fact that I've got the ability now to have lock-to-lock at 320 degrees means that I never have to take my hands off the steering wheel. It's basically 320 degrees. You're never going in a complete circle. So that makes the steering wheel a thing of the past, and everybody's going to be going to a yoke now.
Sandy, there's a specific, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Sandy, there's a specific material we have to get to. So Elon Musk is talking about how the windows, because Elon Musk is talking about how bulletproof it is. And he demoed firing a machine gun at it, and Joe Rogan with a steelhead arrow at it.
Right.
It makes dents, it's bulletproof. But what about the glass, right? I saw Franz do a demo of the window. It didn't smash this time.
Baseball. No, but it was
what
a
did they tell you about?
Not a shot.
Well, exactly. Yeah. I made that observation on X because last time it was a metal ball bearing. This time it was a baseball. But here's my point and my question to conclude. What did they tell you there on site that they failed to mention during the presentation? Because they didn't talk about the range extender during the presentation, and they didn't confirm if the glass is bulletproof too.
Okay, so the glass being bulletproof, the glass that's in the normal vehicle, I'm pretty sure is going to be a good tempered glass, and yeah, you could throw rocks or snowballs or something like that at it, but an iron ball or a bullet, not so much. The thing is, though, you can buy glass that is bulletproof, and you can put it in. It adds an awful lot of extra weight and a huge amount of cost. Let's get back to the steel. The stainless steel that they're using is a 300 series stainless steel. For those folks that are into technology, it's austenitic, and which means that it's non-magnetic, and it's quite a bit tougher, and it won't. Everything does break down eventually, but it would be classified as a true stainless steel. The thing that makes it even more impressive or important is that when they cold form it, they move it from austenite to martensite. That probably doesn't mean anything to most people, but if you know anything about material science, a martensitic structure means that you're moving into something that's really hard.
Yeah.
So normal steel is not even measured on a Rockwell C scale, but the body structure, the body panels, The reason that they can contain bullets of multiple calibers and
Right.
quite frankly, multiple velocities. The reason that it can do that is because it's martensitic, and martensite is pretty dramatic. You can't believe how tough that is.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like what's happening. So the steel comes in relatively strong. Then it goes through cold forming, which basically strengthens it even more. Then it goes into one more little, like the air bending and whatnot that they do for some of those linear lines, like you're showing it right now.
Yeah.
You've got that line that goes straight across the vehicle. That is absolutely something that makes it a whole lot stronger. So anytime you can put a bend or a wrinkle in a piece of sheet metal, that's great. I had no idea how they were doing that, but I did get a chance to. I did have a chance to look at the assembly line. I saw the machines that are manufacturing. It's a Trump machine. It's actually, I mean, it's quite simple, a lot simpler than I thought. So yeah, it's really well engineered.